Thank you. So for this first demo is all about Einstein. It's about how the Sales Cloud and Einstein help you sell smarter. So for this first demonstration, I'm going to play the role of a sales rep at Amazon Web Services. Now, this isn't exactly how Amazon's using the Sales Cloud, but we want to show you a vision of how they could leverage Einstein to truly sell smarter. Now, the first place you see Einstein is right on the home page. Over on the right there, you see this component. It says Einstein Insights. And it's giving me specific recommendations, things like prospect is unresponsive, or the competitor was mentioned. You might be asking yourself, where's all this stuff coming from? Like, where is it from? You might, is it black magic? Is there a magician somewhere coming up with this stuff? And of course not. What we're doing is we're taking different data signals. We're taking your CRM data. We're using your email and your calendar, social data, and the web, and we're using all that to learn and to apply data science to, so that we can come up with specific recommendations about your business and the way you run things and what you should be doing to move your pipeline forward. But the one I want to focus on right now is the one at the very top. It says Riley Schultz, predictive lead score 92. That is a predictive lead score, not a rules-based lead score where you use your gut and intuition to come up with that score. That is based on your data. Let's take a quick look at that lead. Now, when we drill into this lead, what you're seeing is the brand new Sales Console. This is a user interface in the Lightning experience that is completely optimized for the needs of an inside sales rep. It's got all kinds of productivity tools like keyboard shortcuts and macros, and everything I need is presented on one screen, so I don't have to be fumbling around switching from screen to screen. On the left, we've got all the key lead details like the company, Presidio Tech, and Riley Schultz. In the center, I can see complete interaction history of every email, phone call, everything I've done with this lead. But what I really want to focus on is the lead score up on the right. So lead score 92, that's a great lead. But when you're doing predictions like this, it's super important to explain to the rep what it is that's going on there. It can't be a black box. You have to let them understand, why is it a 92? So in this case, a valid phone number, the title's director, and we've also incorporated marketing engagement information from Pardot that says that the white paper was downloaded. We've also used third-party data like purchase intent that we've purchased and used that and brought that all into the algorithm to come up with that score 92. So I see that information, I trust it, and I know it's a great lead. So I really ought to call them right away. And to do that, we're going to use Lightning Voice. I click on the phone number right there, and up pops Lightning Voice. I get on the phone with Riley. We have a great conversation, and he really wants to move forward. Lightning Voice logs that interaction for me, and I can go ahead and convert that lead so I can pass it on to an AE to follow up on it later. So a couple weeks goes by, and a sales rep's now working this lead, or this opportunity, and they're working it really hard. And you'll notice that on the opportunity screen, you also have Einstein. And Einstein's given us some insights on this specific opportunity. And there's three here: unlikely to close on time, competitor mentioned, and prospect unresponsive. And like with lead scoring, it's super important to explain to the user why you're making these recommendations. So if we click on unlikely to close on time, we get specific feedback about why we make that recommendation. In this case, the opportunity does not have a C-level engaged, and an illegal issue is raised. And what we're doing is we're looking at past opportunities that were successful and comparing the titles of people, the interaction patterns, and then telling you when we see something that's out of line what typically happens with this kind of deal. So it's true, I haven't got the C-level engaged. I've been sending her emails, I've been inviting her to meetings, she doesn't respond to anything, doesn't show up. So I need to do something. So what I'm going to do is leverage another capability, something Sarah was just mentioning, recommended connections. With all that email and calendar data, we're able to build a relationship graph that shows me who at my company knows this person, who knows the CIO, Lauren. And I can see that Susan has a relationship with her, has either met with her, emailed her back and forth, and I can use that as someone that can help me with that introduction, get a warm introduction, maybe actually get Lauren to talk to me. So what I'm going to do is send her a quick email and say, hey, Susan, I need to talk to the CIO. Can you get me an introduction? I'm just going to go ahead and send that off. Off goes the email. Now, normally, I'd have to go into Outlook and start checking my email and seeing if anybody responded. But another aspect of Einstein is the ability to automatically capture all your email and all your calendar with your customers. So I don't ever have to leave Salesforce to see what happens. I just check right here on this lead, and the emails come right in. I can see that my colleague did an introduction, and that the CIO actually wrote back and said, I'd be happy to meet. So I finally have gotten that CIO involved. So you're probably wondering, will does Einstein process all these changes? Is it doing something different now that I've gotten the CIO involved? Well, of course. Instead of the deal now being unlikely to close, it's now trending up, which means the likelihood of it closing has just gone up, right? And that's really what it's all about. That's game-changing for sales, right? I saw a recommendation, I saw the reason why, took an action, and got the deal back on a positive trajectory, right? That's what this is all about. So that's a short example of how Einstein can help Amazon truly sell smarter. Thank you. Now back to you, Sarah.
Great. Thanks, Will. Pretty cool stuff, right? Now, we've just...
Thanks, Sarah. I did spend about a decade in our sales organization, so I really know the B2B sales world, and I know your challenges in trying to get a deal across the line. So many moving parts and players and last-minute documents, but that can be so much easier with these sales productivity tools that Sarah just talked about. So I'm going to show you how you can use them to get your deals done faster and to give reps more time to do what they do best, and that's sell. Let's do that through the eyes of Clara. She's a sales rep at AWS. Let's imagine how a company like AWS could use Lightning. Clara's manager starts her day by checking her pipeline report. It's a Wave dashboard, and she sees that Clara's in danger of missing her number due to a big deal. So she immediately shoots off a note to Clara to offer some assistance. First thing Clara does is try and set up a meeting with her prospect, see if they can't coordinate things to get the deal in this month. Now, this isn't any old inbox that Clara's using. This is actually Salesforce Inbox. It's a rep productivity application, and it has tools to sell faster, like email templates. It also embeds her CRM into her email, so everything she does is in context. Now, when I was a rep, if I wanted to schedule a meeting, I would shoot off an email to the prospect, and we'd go back and forth until we found a meeting time. But in this new world, Clara's able to actually go into her calendar, pick her available times, and just put it right into the email to the prospect. And you're going to love this part. If her calendar changes, which we all know it always does, it's dynamically reflected back in that prospect's email. And when she accepts her email, when she accepts the meeting, it automatically goes into Clara's inbox, so she doesn't miss a beat. If you talk to any rep who uses this application, they will tell you they cannot live without it. Well, when Clara gets into the office, she opens up Lightning Desktop. It looks like she's got a new meeting on her calendar. The prospect accepted the meeting for today, which is great for getting this deal in this month. In Calendar All, Clara not only sees all her meeting invitations, but she can actually layer in key dates and see it all in one view. I can't imagine how awesome that would have been as a rep if I could put in things like my marketing events, when my opportunities were closing, put that in with my calendar entry so I could make a timeline to get this deal across the line. Well, in the opportunity, I can see my next steps, and I have two crucial parts left, and that is I need to finalize the quote and the statement of work. My prospect's been pretty clear about their budget. And Clara's a savvy rep, so she knows, if she can get it in for about $500,000, she's got a deal. Now, I used to keep about 3 to 4 spreadsheets per deal because I would open them up and put all these line items in and start to play with formulas and discounts to try and hit that magic number that you knew was going to get this deal across the line. But it's so much easier. Salesforce CPQ makes Lightning quotes just an absolute breeze. All I have to do is put in that targeted amount, that magic number there, and all the line items update. And the best part about that is, from a company perspective, it's respecting any pricing or product rules that you have. So no more Excel spreadsheets, and a little bit more time back so I can actually sell. Clara's working with a partner, a service partner, to get the statement of work done, and she uses Chatter. She uses Chatter to communicate and collaborate with the partner and with her entire team. I used to tear my hair out trying to get these final pieces done at the end of the month. But now with Chatter, she can post, ask about the statement of work, and watch this. It's a live feed, just like you have in Facebook. So the partner's comments, the manager's comments, everything's coming in instantaneously. So I get real-time feedback on how we're going to move this deal forward. Well, let's take a look at this from the partner's point of view then. This is AWS's Lightning community. This is where they go to do all their business with AWS. They manage their business relationship here. And it's awesome because they also have pipeline dashboard reports. In Wave, they can see what their opportunities are for growth. You can see deal information. You can see their partnership relationship and how easy that is to get access. And when you look at the deal itself, it's the same information that Clara sees, so that they're totally in sync. I see the account, the amount, and the close date. There's that quote that Clara created, and the activities that have transpired, and of course, the same Chatter feed. It's so easy for partners to do business with AWS this way. So thanks to these sales productivity tools, we now have the quote, and we've got the statement of work. And being prepared has paid off for Clara. When she comes out of that meeting with her prospect, they've closed the deal. Now, every one of you has a phone. So I'm not even going to make you raise your hands. And I bet some of you actually have 2 phones because we live on our phones, personally and professionally. And that's why it's so important for your reps to be able to access their opportunities from their phone. Open up the opportunity, and I see the sales path that Clara's been using to be able to move this deal. It's got tips and tricks on every stage to move it forward. And I use this sales path to mark my opportunity as close won. It's completely custom to the way I do my business. Now the partner's notified and the manager, everybody knows the deal's won and they can go out and celebrate. And because this is all real time, if Clara opens up her forecast, it already reflects her deal. All the numbers are adjusted and updated. It looks like she's actually exceeded her quota, which is going to make her manager so happy. And that's how, with Lightning, reps can sell faster on the customer success platform. Adam, back to you.
All right.